You guys, my name is Krystle Chats, and this is The Healthy Gossip, and we are at the Comedy Pop-Up in Koreatown, and it is September 10th, and it's a Tuesday, and this will be dropping September 16th on a Monday.
Nice.
Oh.
And today,
Hello, future.
Yes, I have a fascinating guest today.
Who is it?
It is the Mr. Josh Waldron.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Good.
And of course, I must mention that I have my Oz of the Healthy Gossip, Mr. Alex Kahn, our
What's up?
on-air producer in the His House.
Yeah.
Yes, guys, it's
How
episode
you doing?
19. I'm okay. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
And say that I'm amazing. I'm just okay.
Oh, good.
Yeah. But how are you boys? How was your week? How's life? Let's do a little catch-up sesh.
Okay. I've had a pretty good week. I actually the last couple days I haven't been doing much because before that I worked my day job a bunch, like 5 days in a row.
What's your day job?
I work at a restaurant in the Beverly Center.
Oh, okay. I knew this actually.
Yeah,
You
it's called
mentioned it.
Easy's. It's like a bougie upscale, not even upscale. I just said it, millennial diner-ish.
Is it fun?
It is fun. It's actually a fun job. The coworkers are cool. and
Yeah, I
make
love
a
my
lot-
job,
Yeah, I
too.
make a lot of money. So.
Good.
Yeah, so I just been having a couple days off. Sunday, I watched some football,
Mm-hmm.
and then got attacked by this like crazy headache that like took away most of my night.
Yeah.
And then I threw up, and then right around 9 p.m. I got my second win. Still went back out for a date. Huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Where'd you meet the date?
A restaurant called the Black Cat in Echo Park, maybe.
No, that's where the
Silver
date
Lake?
was, right?
Yes, yes.
Where'd you
Oh, I
meet-
met her on Raya.
You're on.
Yeah.
Is it Raya? I always thought it was Raya.
It's Raya.
It's Raya. You would know. You're on it.
Right. I
Cool.
keep like bumping into it. I guess I keep adjusting my chair. Yeah, I actually deleted dating apps for like a few years. What?
You can pick that up if you need to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually deleted.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I
be
feel so much more
comfortable.
comfortable now. I actually deleted dating apps for like a few years, and
too,
then
me too.
I just, when you get accepted to one,
Wait.
you're like, I'll give this a try.
Okay. So you were off of dating apps for 2 years.
Something like that. So 2-ish, just 2+ years.
Lord.
Yeah.
Why? Why do there have to be problems?
Because there's serial murders in K-Town.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Any number
get
of
it-
crimes
Get it together, K-Town.
are happening right now.
So you were single for 2 years.
I've been single for a while. I really only had one like long-term serious girlfriend, and other than that, it's just been scattered mini
So you've
relationships.
only had sex with one person.
Yes, that is the proper takeaway from what I just said.
Okay, that's amazing. I like that.
She was great.
Okay. So really, one girlfriend? Is that big? Like that's no capping?
Capping? What's capping? Am I like you mean
It-
rounding down or something?
It's the new term for like not lying.
Oh no, I'm not capping. Yeah, no caps here. Look, I mean, I've had girls that I maybe like saw more frequently than other girls for like a few months or something, but
Okay.
nothing like girlfriend, like announced on Instagram, nothing like that.
So I have this really bad habit that when I like start dating someone, I
You're
can
like-
get tricked into being in a relationship a little bit faster than I should be.
What do you mean tricked?
Like they'll ask me and they'll have so many great qualities and I'll be like, that sounds like a great idea.
This sounds like a healthy process to getting a relationship. What's the trick? I don't get the trick so far.
What do you mean? Like it's not a trick.
You're like,
they're
I got
tricking-
tricked by this nice guy
Okay.
who was friendly to me, and
well,
look,
right.
I was
the
attracted to it. It was magic.
Well, right, but the trick is that because they hide all the stuff that gets on my
Right,
nerves.
right.
You know, and
Like what? What's your number one like? I guess deal breakers is the term. What's your number one deal breaker for like a dude's?
No,
like,
I've mentioned this. Like one guy didn't like that I wore makeup.
oh,
Another guy.
that's just control. That's just that dude trying to get control over like your actions and stuff.
Another guy is he was very sloppy and like I'm messy, but I'm like
What?
but I am very messy.
No way.
but not dirty.
You made like
There's-
such deep eye contact with me on the word dirt, and you like emphasized it. So like you're not good. Good for you.
Well, because it's like I'm a germaphobe in the sense that like if you touch your cell phone, like don't touch my body.
Really?
You know, like go wash your hands first.
Whoa.
Yeah, but like because of the germs, not because of like.
You know how many germs are in Koreatown?
Yeah, exactly.
All of them, and you're just like walking around it.
I know. It's a weird. It's just a skin on skin thing though. Like for example,
some-
like I can't stand it when people touch my face. Like do
Right.
not touch. No, like yeah. Even my like lover, like if it's during sex, like it's like, could you please? Like I could
Really?
I could probably.
What about
be
like okay during sex? What about like a face kiss? Can't kiss your face.
only kissing?
So not no
With
hand.
no hands. It's so
What
weird.
if I like
I would even rather like their dick like
dip my
slap.
hand? Yeah, of course. Dip my hands in sanitizer, then put on gloves, then.
Well, you have to wash it because I don't really like sanitizer. I like
Word.
soap and water.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So that's that. Those are my things. And then like little things
Where do you
like
think
that.
that's from?
Actually, like
The
which
face
part?
thing. It's got to be based on something, right?
So when I was younger, I would get styes in my eyes, and I'm
So you're
pretty
just
sure it
prevent-
happened from like touching my
Preventative
dogs.
maintenance. You're not letting it happen to you
Yeah.
again. Yeah.
God dang! And it happened twice, and both times I had to get it like cut open to like drain it and stuff. So I'm assuming it came. And one time it happened when I was actually doing community service, and I worked.
That's
at
what you
a
get for helping the needy.
I know. I did Salvation Army like all day, and I think I like fell asleep. I was so tired. I came home and I fell asleep before washing my hands and my face, and I woke, and that's when I got the second sty. And I'm like, okay, it's germs. Germs is what does it. So like, keep the germs away.
Right.
'Cause I actually have thought about I get fake eyelashes, and I thought about not getting them anymore because it freaks me out that I feel like the buildup in the dirt is gonna like seal my eyes shut.
I got
And that was my worst experience in Thailand, actually. Is that
Oh,
I
this
got,
was all in Thailand.
no. Another one
Oh,
happened where I got bit in the eye, like by a mosquito, and literally, like my eye was like, it reminded me of like getting a sty again.
Man, some bad luck.
Yeah, just terrible. Anyways, so guys, how are things go? Can I ask you how your personal life is going, Alex?
Yeah, all is well. Life
You
is
guys
good.
got back together?
We we're figuring shit out, you know. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
you look like you're getting laid. You're all glowing. Your hair is all.
Do I look
everywhere,
like I'm
you
getting
know?
laid?
I haven't figured that out yet.
Word.
No, this is just yesterday's product. This is not.
Hell yeah, because you got laid. You don't give a fuck. You don't got to
Yeah,
reset
glowing.
by the day.
Yeah.
So that you were having relationship issues and now you're not?
No, I mean, I ended a relationship, but we're kind of working it out. So yeah,
Word.
all is good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you think of this strain that we just smoked,
It's
Alex?
pretty damn strong. Yeah.
Do you smoke a lot?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. I smoke quite a bit.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Green Easy, the dispensary I go to.
Yeah, I need to
I got
go
little
there.
20% discounts
know,
for
yeah.
anybody and everybody who wants them.
I'm pretty sure I'll even get a neighborhood discount there, but it'll probably only be 15%, so I'll take you up on that
Hell yeah.
20%.
Yeah, I went to Sweet Flower the other day.
Is that not the bougiest?
That shit is like all my coworkers were like, "Oh no, it's good prices. They give it. It's right across the street from where I work." And yeah, no, that shit was like with 25% off. It was a $40 eighth.
yeah,
I just buy
but
pre-rolls. I don't really buy flour anymore because I can't roll. I've never rolled. And then
you
I
just
don't
pack.
really,
They have the
carry on
cones
pieces.
that you pack now.
still an extra step.
Nah, man, you gotta just get a dirty one hitter. That's how I roll.
We know.
Cool.
Yeah.
A dirty one hitter. I'm pretty sure all of our followers know what a dirty one hitter is.
Sounds like my ex.
It's actually not sexual, guys. It is a piece that you smoke out of. Okay.
Yeah, what so you're okay, next on the
Great. I'm happy that you guys. Wait. So can we finish you real fast?
Sure.
You met this girl. Tell us about the date, though.
Oh, it was fun. It was I had met her on Riot, and then what was cool was that when we were texting on the app, after a little bit of like, back and forth and a little flirting, a little texting, and then she was like,
What is she? She's on Raya, so like, is she model, actress, comedian?
She said that she had actually taken one of the intro to stand-up classes, but
Okay.
she just does she was in finance, and then on the periphery of entertainment. She had friends that
Oh.
weren't. She had dated comedians before, but
Interesting.
so she in the app eventually was like, I was going to the store just to hang that Saturday after a different show, and then she was like, well, maybe I'll meet you there. Should I text you on this? Which I immediately read as we should exchange phone numbers thing. So I sent that, and then she said, "Oh, glad you got the hint," which I appreciated. I appreciated when someone's honest in the communication, because you never. Obviously, there's a little bit of like a texting game you play with potential romance, but when you can get to just honest communication like right away, it makes it so much easier.
Yeah. Absolutely. Okay.
So then,
second date coming.
hopefully we'll.
Did you ask her out yet?
No, I'm not even a total move maker guy.
Yeah. That's why
Yeah.
you've been single for so long.
Yeah, but it's better.
I'm
happier.
You know what though? Like I've said this on this podcast before though, like my happiest years have been my single years.
Yeah.
Like for some reason just relationships are exhausting.
Yeah, the pursuit of the orgasm. Too
Yeah,
stressful.
I actually have someone in my life that I wanted to just talk about that like I care about so deeply, and you guys can give me advice on this, but like he thinks that because I love him, I need to just be like on lockdown like immediately. And when I'm like, bro, like love isn't black and white.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but at the same time, I've been on I'm in my 30s, so let's be honest here. Like I've been on the lockdown thing like more than once, and I honestly have like PTSD from it. So I'm just like, bro, just relax, you know. He's like, no, but if you love me,
Again, it's a control thing. A lot of the people's like
you know what I'm saying?
annoyances that
They say things like, I just couldn't imagine, like I just couldn't
Are they
handle
older?
it. No, if you slept with someone else, and I'm like, bro, like. Chances are, like, you know, we're not together. It's like, whoa.
If they're
but you
younger,
love
I
me.
would agree it's probably a control thing. If they're older, I would say that sometimes maybe it comes from their own like struggle with, you know, social norm. I got to get there. I got to get it done. I'm running out of time. But if they're younger, I agree. I think it's control.
I know what you're coming from, and maybe with women, I think that'd be the case, and with some dudes. But with like, I just am, as I've gotten older, I've become like super anti-dude, and it's just all dudes just are baked in with this thought of like, they're entitled to a conquest. And
What?
and
Fuck you
it's just
say, no.
they just want to grasp control where they feel they don't, and that's part of this is to be. Oh, and then part of that is the shame too, right? He's trying to be like, oh, I couldn't. If you did it, that I could. How could I look at you? You know what I mean? He's trying to project some shame onto you for just doing what you would want to do as a person, and
Yeah.
that's. I think that's lame.
Because also he was like, what did he say? Like, I told him, I was like, hey man, just give me some time, you know? And he was like, how much time do you need? You expect me to like go date other people and
37
just-
hours is my max. That's the
right,
max
or
I'll
like,
wait.
and then me to just be okay with you, like then you're lying.
See,
and
if I were you, I would to this dude. I'd be like, yeah, dude, go smash, go do it. Go
No,
make
but
it happen.
that's why it's
No,
so sweet in a way, because
I
he's
think,
like, I don't want to, and I'm like, I don't want. I'm not saying that's what I'm seeking either, you know.
Right.
I mean, who knows what's going like sometimes people are they're I think you should set them free. That's what I think. I think
That's why it's annoying.
Because-
Set yourself free.
no, well, I mean, no, I think in this case the only person that feels trapped is not you. I mean, like, yeah, I guess set yourself free, but I mean, you're just different goals right now. You know, different.
That was something that was popped in my head earlier. Is just what's your
It's
goal
just
with
a
it?
different trajectory, and it's not a matter of right or wrong. It's just a matter of timing.
Timing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because that's another thing I said. It's like, dude, like I'll gladly. I'm not trying. Eventually, if we started dating,
I think that's a
seriously.
very common struggle, especially in this
Yeah.
town. Is a lot of people you go through you go through like seasons of growth where you're like, I'm gonna hit shows hard for the next year, and then then you kind of things taper off. Maybe you start writing or something happens, and those lulls allow kind of relationships to grow. But sometimes you go through phases for yourself where you have to go and sharpen your tools, and it takes a long time to sharpen tools. I mean,
Amen.
so I think your struggle is not an uncommon one, but it's just wrong time.
I just think dudes are hella shitty.
Yeah,
So I'm always like,
I think a lot of dudes
get
are,
out of there.
but I think a lot of dudes aren't shitty too, and I think a lot of people are shitty.
yeah.
And I think you get what you put bait for. You catch what you're looking for. Like when you're on Tinder throwing that bait out, you're getting what you're looking for.
Hell yeah, throwing that bait, is that another term? I just don't know.
No,
Like,
I'm just riffing here,
Okay.
but no, I'm
throw some bait out on Riot.
yeah. I mean, if you're dropping some of that riot bait out, I mean,
Big time Raya baiter over here.
Big Raya baiter. That's what the.
So I just look at my own profile on Raya.
There's a very easy Weinstein joke in here. And I don't. Good old Raya baiter.
Cool. Well, thank you guys. That was very helpful. And I want to make it 100% clear that I do love this guy and I'm very connected to him and would eventually probably be in a situation where I'm like, all right, you and I, like if we're going to do the kids
Eventually
or married
probably be in a situation.
thing. Yeah.
nice little-
Eventually,
Sounds
probably one day, maybe there's
Kinda,
a chance
yeah.
that
It
it
sounds
will
like a fairy
happen.
tale.
Sounds like you're still trying to fuck.
Yeah, right. Stop trying to bone every dude.
And you
See
know
the
what?
way you're looking
Hey,
out the door.
Hold on. And here's why I say
That's fucked up.
I say it because
What if I just want to date? Like,
You're
what
not-
if, or
well,
what if
Then
I
do
wanna,
it. Then
hold
do
on.
it.
Why do I have to fuck on the date?
hold on. You're not alone in that. You're not alone in that. So don't feel like I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just like, you're just different spaces. That's what that means. When one person's not ready to settle down and the other one's we can call it whatever we want, but someone's still out here trying to fuck,
Yeah,
and
dude.
that's just what I need time. No, I mean, and the thing is you might not even want to or you might not even find that person. You might not even fuck, but the option to do so.
Right, the life of the option.
And that was like when I first got with my girl for a long time. I was like, nah, I'm just like I move very slow because I know that's just like, that's that's nature, that's whimsical. So it's like eventually, and I think if this person cares about you, they can play a slow game and shut the fuck up for a while.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
I also think that
Well, it's funny because
if if he feels that tortured by it and he's too dumb to walk away, then set him free.
Exactly, yeah. Too dumb to walk away is the key. It's like, because he
It's
could
not-
just go find,
but no,
live his
like,
life.
but what if I like, want to
You're, like, leading him on or
still
something?
like hang out with him?
He's
and date
younger.
him.
He's younger.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
younger.
So it's like, what is he? I mean, is he in the military? Was he trying?
Yeah,
to
why
collect
is he
a
trying to lock
payment? Why
this
is he trying
down?
to?
I mean, other than
And this
you're
is
awesome.
my thing is.
Because like yeah, well like if I'm
Truly from a
sleeping with
standpoint
him,
that like I hope he's listening. Like like you don't want that either. Like no,
That'd be
but
sweet if it was a live stream and he's like commenting.
that's who she keeps looking at the door. He's like he's knocking. He's like I hear it. No,
because
just
you've heard what I talked about on my last podcast.
Yeah, no.
my last episodes. Like, dude, like I literally. I did it last time where I met a guy and
yeah. This
I
isn't the
thought-
same guy.
No.
Yeah, I thought you
How
were
long
dating
have
someone.
you been dating this guy? I point like he's right outside the door. I'm
Sir,
pointing
you want
at
to
the
come in
door.
here? Do we have a third mic, sir?
Sit down.
Not,
Tell us what's going on, bud.
not long, but so we were friends, and then we were friends for a couple of months.
I would slow this down.
And that's what I have this thing
I'm
where I
always
was
a
like,
ship,
I'm
ship
trying.
jump, just like I'm done.
I was like, you're
living
gonna
my
be in the
life.
best friend zone, because guys, I say you'll be in the
Oh.
friend zone. Like
That
I
means you're in the
don't-
friend zone, but you get to fucking just enough to like keep yourself.
Oh yeah. Hey, best friend zones are dope.
Best friend zones, like people say you don't get to fuck in the friend zone. You don't, but you do get to fuck in the best friend zone, and it's kind of worse. I'm just kidding. What's
You're,
up?
you're on one.
I always
bro.
say the door,
I know.
the door out of a girl's friend zone is like a tiny little crawl space with like a lot of locks, only unlocked by like mutual attraction and trust. But the door out of the male friend zone is like this big double doors in front of a grocery store, and it's like the you step on it and then it opens, and then it's actually broken, so it just stays open.
It's a carport for diesel
Yeah,
trucks.
exactly.
Come on in.
Open 24 hours.
Damn. The truth hurts.
Well,
this is the healthy gossip, guys.
This
is why I have this podcast.
Yeah, I'll come out with some then. Fun, whatever.
Let's
Fine.
do it.
No, just to say, like, in the pursuit of trying to fix things that are going on, I have seen a relationship counselor recently, which was just like, fuck it, let's try it. And there's definitely like getting a third party involved and having someone who can look at things and just kind of, like.
Hey.
I've learned that it's part of that, like, for a wound to heal, sometimes you got to rip that shit open, So when you say the truth hurts, Yeah, man, but that's you figuring you out, you know. So
So it's a crime you weren't on episode 18 because
What episode is this?
19.
Oh.
who was on
Why
18?
did you just say 69?
Paul.
Oh, Paul.
And Mary Elaine.
Oh, cool.
Ramsey. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
sorry, this one's such a bummer.
No, no, we're gonna talk about this because he is usually on here, and we talked about him because we mentioned dating older, and I said that Alex said that he wants to be eventually just the guy who has one customer, because we were talking about prostitution.
Word.
Because we say that a lot of like,
How old is your lady?
Oh, my girl's like 24, 25.
And
She's-
you're-
I'm 27.
no, but we were talking about when we make it, and that was actually one of the questions that I had for you is like, what's the dream? And basically, he mentioned his dream, and he was like, I wouldn't, because we were just basically talking about why prostitution should be legal, and he's like, eventually, yeah, that's how I kind of want it, you know? Because I said most relationships, like when a person's unhappy and they stay, if a woman has like a financial need, it's basically she's a prostitute and that's her one customer.
Did I say
Right.
that?
You did. You were like, that's
yeah,
eventually what I want.
I want a sugar daddy. Yeah, I want to.
You
No,
want a
you said
sugar
you want a
daddy.
sugar baby when you
No,
make
no,
it.
I want to. Yeah, no, like I would like.
He wants to sugar daddy.
Like at some point, like so we were talking about just like legalization of prostitution,
Right.
and I was saying that like you know like if I were an older, wealthier guy, I would like House of Cards it. I'd have like one younger one, you know, that you take care of. So
Sure.
it was like I believe it was
Sounds
said.
predatory.
I believe it was said jokingly, but like, no, you know, like you know what I mean.
No, I definitely took it. I was like, oh, fascinating.
I believe it was said
When
jokingly.
I break shit down, I might have said it real. I don't know.
You're gonna have to.
I mean, all
re-listen.
jokes are founded in truth, right? That's what I was just ripping that wound open.
Exactly.
And rip the
You-
wound open. Yeah,
you're-
you're right. I'm
Yeah,
a
it was like-
creep. What's up? What's up, Josh?
Time to heal, dog.
Yeah.
No,
I'm a creep. I'm a creep.
there's
too,
only
man.
2 directions, up or to like a jail. But like that, those it. One's really good. Both make
Yeah.
you better.
Okay, so if I didn't mention this, Josh is a comedian,
Woo.
and what is the dream though?
I have like a dumb answer for this, and it's kind of corny, and I'm sorry for it beforehand. Okay.
No.
So
Why
the-
would you apologize for your dream?
Is this career dream or is this relationship dream?
So yeah. Ooh.
all of it?
The dream is actually just happiness, right? So I don't really set these relationship or
So
career.
are you happy now?
Of course I am.
So you're living the dream.
I-
Yeah.
When it comes to these like
I
you know,
can relate to that.
relationship or career expectations, sure, I have them, and sure, I have goals that I set for myself. But as long as I keep like the ultimate, no matter what, focus, happiness, then like the downs of not finding the girlfriend I want, or not getting the break that I want, or the jealousy of other people being somewhere I think I should be. I have all those regular, like not so positive feelings, but since my overall goal is happiness, it allows me to process the other ones way like smoother and with like a zen, like, oh, nothing's real anyway kind of vibe.
Which is a perfect transition into the fact that you and I are kind of stoners.
Yes. Well,
Yeah,
yes.
like we're-
I do smoke a lot, but
I've only recently became one, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, like I was never a daily smoker. Well, I've always smoked at night, but I don't consider a night smoker a stoner.
Right.
Yeah, like if you literally can't, like I would never before smoke on a podcast.
yeah, stoner
on
is
my
someone
podcast.
who like walks through a neighborhood high, like.
And I've recently
Yeah.
been doing that, where I've been smoking quite a bit.
Well, I definitely meet these qualifications of stoner, but for me, it's more like I have this like kind of like, I don't think I'm like smarter than anybody, but like a brain that just never slows down. So
Okay.
for the weed that I do smoke constantly, it's more of like reeling it in, you know? So it's not like, let's get high and let's get baked and fucking eat Cheetos and talk about zebras. Like, it's just like, I need
Right.
my brain to
It's
slow down.
medicine.
Yes. I need my brain to
Yes.
slow down somehow. And this is fortunately how I do it.
That's great.
I'm just so good at living life that I like it to be a challenge. just
Says
like
the
to-
straight white man.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, that's why I get high.
Get
'Cause I
high
want-
on privilege.
Because I want to feel uncomfortable when I walk around too. You know. So, what's up?
Speaking of straight white men, have you guys heard of this universal basic income that might happen? Or that
I mean,
we
I've heard
want-
discussion
that,
of
I know
it.
that, and I know, I'm not gonna say it might happen. Like, oh yeah, it's on the table. But one
Shit ain't gonna
1K
happen for a while.
1K
Yeah,
a
long
month though. Like, would that not be? I'm hoping you guys are for that.
Not at
Or-
all.
You're not?
You
I'm
know
like-
I'm anti-government.
I'm like-
We've talked
Oh,
about
that's
this.
right.
I'd be for it and against it. I'd be for it in a way that's like a stepping stone. Like, yes, this can help you get to something better, but there'd be like a
You-
time limit. Like, you couldn't just stay on it the rest of your life.
You want to hear how I'm for it? You get rid of everything else. Everything else. Every form of any safety net that we have. Food stamps out the window. You get $1,000 a month. Everything out the window. Healthcare, you go buy your own insurance. Everything.
No.
Because here's
Everything
the thing
but healthcare.
no.
Are you kidding me?
don't bel-
1,000 a month and
Yeah,
you need
I
a
mean,
fucking new
that's-
heart? No,
No, you-
1K a
no,
month
but
doesn't cover
$8,000 to
to
give birth.
No, but the
Yeah,
reason
fuck
the
that.
reason that healthcare is so because back in the day for people our age, insurance was cheap. That was the point, is that not a lot goes wrong with young people. That's why your insurance is cheap. Now it's expensive because we're paying for the bulk of everybody because it's one big thing. So what I'm saying is, yeah, if everything else goes out the window, young people can thrive on $1,000 a month because it's an addition to what they currently make, and they can use it to pursue side hustles, to pursue their own personal health.
Why does it have
It
to
can
just be
potentially.
young people? Because like I'm saying like for my lifestyle.
You're still pretty young compared to.
But even if I was like single and 40 and I didn't have a
Because
partner to help pay the bills,
the way that insurance used to work, people like that's why you buy into that's why pre-existing conditions were a thing. It's because you get in, you pay into the system
Oh, I see, I see.
before there's a problem with you.
Right.
Therefore, you are a benefit to the system before you need it and a detriment to the system when you need it. But you were a benefit to the system. That's why it's cheaper for or it's supposed to be cheaper for younger people.
I feel you.
But now when you lump everyone onto one plan and you're fucking replacing fucking hearts for Dolores, like, yeah, then
Right.
the cost
I don't
of-
mind replacing hearts for Dolores.
I don't mind it either, but they're different things, and we have to be honest with what they are. And so if you want to bring out a universal basic income, you can't tack that on to our current operating system. We have the biggest budget that's ever existed. And what are we going to do? We're going to give, what would that be? An extra $3.6 trillion a year?
So
however it comes out?
what with this universal basic income, say it goes place and I'm getting this $1,000 a week or month or whatever. Am I allowed to still just have employment otherwise?
Yeah.
So it's like
everyone
you
gets
still
it.
tax that for the healthcare, and that like your actual like your claimed, this is my profession, this is my work, and then you still tax that, you still subsidize that for these other things, and then that UBI that is not touched by anything healthcare wise, but still there's got to be an overall thing.
What do you say? No,
I'm saying that yes, the universal basic income stuff could be you eliminate. I like the idea of you eliminate the other things, but healthcare I think is just something that it's so insurmountable for all different types of budgets that we're gonna need help with it.
I mean, we already have help with it, but like it exists. Help.
No, I'm saying,
No one's ever been turned away from a county hospital. It's
agree.
always
Well,
existed.
There's some places in
County-
the South and racial discrepancies that would disagree with
Well,
that.
that's a different conversation. That's not a conversation about healthcare in this country. That's a entirely different. Like standards of care exist. Community institutions that are funded by the community, like UMC is like a big one in Vegas. That's the one that I'm thinking of. Those kinds of places can't turn people away for that reason. Like a homeless person can walk in with their foot missing and they've got to be helped no matter how. I mean, it's not to say that they're not going to try to get that money from you later, but you know, if you walk in, your life will be saved. You will be spared. And then, you know, so what I'm saying is universal basic income, it's expensive as shit to do. So like if you're going to implement that kind of a system, you just have to remove other expenses. Those
I
other
100%
things.
agree with
I
that.
think that, so here's an interesting fact. A lot of people don't know this. Murray Rothbard, who's like, he's kind of like, it's debated, but he's like the father of modern theory. He's who a lot of like actual like anti-government anarchists would point to, pro-capital anti-government people. He doesn't believe in social welfare, like or government control of any kind, but he says that it's actually a freer system of social welfare to give people a sum of money and then let them purchase their own items, because when they have the ability to choose who they pay for their services, then other people have to start competing for their business again. So there is a thought out there that
But that this all sounds great, but then that $1,000 is not going to be enough to help out with anything healthcare related.
yeah, well, that's insurance. The only reason insurance, like, so in this current system in which healthcare, like, because there's so much corruption in healthcare, yeah, you're right. But, I mean, like now, and that's the thing is, $1,000 a month now isn't shit. You're right, but we have other like there are other things to fix. But what I'm saying is, I think that giving people a sum of money is better than providing them with a bunch of services. Because when other people have to compete for your services, when you get to choose who you hand that dollar to, it's the same as like, have you ever gone into a restaurant and they're like, "Thank you so much for coming. We actually really appreciate your patronage." Like, you're like, "Oh shit, I like that."
And you think the average person is
You vote with your dollar. That's what I think.
you think the average person is like true enough to themselves and their survival that they will spend it on the right things, that universal basic income?
They'll spend it on the things, and then whatever they choose to spend it on, they
It's
choose to
just
spend
them
it
and
on. Yeah.
goodbye, see you later.
Yeah, so what it is, it's the same thing as like when people say, "Well, I gave the homeless guy $20. If he buys food, he buys food. But if he buys crack, he buys crack." It's that same argument. You can't compel someone to make the right decisions. It's impossible. We know it's impossible. You can.
I literally want the $1,000 to help pay my rent. That's
Yeah,
what I want.
that's
I'm
what
like,
I'll-
I just need
well,
to pay my
But here,
like
think about
comfortably.
this: if everyone gets $1,000, then yeah, it's like I think it's more fair if everyone gets $1,000 a month, because think about this: if I'm the kind of person that wants to take it easy and skate in life, I can move to a place where I could live on $1,000 a month. But if I want to live in California, I still have to work my ass off and
Hell
use
yeah.
that $1,000 a month. So the important part is remembering that it's your choice to be in LA. So when Californians come back and they go, "That's nothing for us." Yeah, that works for people in Kansas. Then bitch, move to Kansas. If you're gonna like,
No, I'm good.
if you're-
I'll live
yeah.
right here, no complaints.
yeah, but you
In
just
Koreatown
like,
with the ambulances and the
you know what I'm
germs.
saying?
but I mean, it's just like but the thing is I guess is what I'm saying is you vote with your dollar. So when you choose to live in LA, that's how you're spending your money. You know, so
Absolutely.
yeah. I mean, I think it's a better system than what already exists, but I also don't think that Democrats are going to get their shit enough together. I think Trump's going to win this next time, and you're never going to see UBI come from the right. So
Definitely not.
We're at least
Right.
10 years from the UBI
You think
discussion.
Trump is gonna win?
He's yeah.
No way.
Watch the debates. There's 20 fucking people, and no one can
I,
agree on
his
them.
his
you're spreading yourselves thin.
supporters vote because they just want to win, not because they think he's better for the country. So yes,
Oh
they will
my-
show up.
No,
to
he's the only shop in
Oh
town.
my
Think about
God.
this. No, this is how I look at it. You got the right and you got the left, right? Let's call them 50 and 50. That's not accurate, but it's pretty close. Let's call them 50 and 50. 50% of the country is voting for one man. If they're backing, or we'll say 40% of the Bernie Sanders, like a hardcore Bernie supporter would never vote for Hillary. Like the left is so vast, you're never gonna all concentrate on one person and get behind one person.
That's so sad.
The numbers are just not gonna work in your favor. I don't foresee it happening. So
Even if it's Bernie Sanders?
no, Bernie Sanders
I mean,
trash.
he didn't make it to the nomination last time, so why would he this time? If anything, Elizabeth Warren would make it to the
Probably.
nomination. Yeah.
Yeah, but like a Bernie Sanders kind of person is not going to support Elizabeth Warren. We saw that last time. They didn't support Hillary.
Didn't he pull out and support Hillary at the end?
He endorsed Hillary, but his supporters didn't. People didn't vote
Well,
for her.
now we have
The
that
kind
to
of
learn
people-
from, and maybe I
Yeah,
agree
no,
with you.
yeah.
I agree with you. I think
Yeah.
unfortunately that is what's going to happen, but the hope is that we learned from the last time, and then it won't happen again. But we'll see as it gets.
I think
the debates
you know
going.
what I think? I think within our lifetime, in a healthy manner, not it's gonna seem bad when it happens. It's gonna seem like getting cheated on when it happens. But in the long run, it's gonna be the breakup we all needed. I think we're gonna see secession. I think in our lifetime, this country will turn into 4 countries, and we'll see.
Yeah, right, man. They tried to do that to just California last year. It didn't work on
But
that.
think about this.
In our lifetime.
So you want to
I'm
you want
living to 200.
You want some healthy gossip? Mm-hmm. So think about this. When the South tried to do this the first time, they just said, we're going to walk away. Even like if California wanted to walk away right now from the union, would you be okay with it? If California's like, we're going to go do our own thing, we're going to have health care, we're going to have Mexicans, we're going to have open door policies, we're going to go be the people that we think we need to be. Would you be okay with
I
it?
honestly would be okay with it in a neutral sense because I don't think anything would change. It would just be noise on the outside of everyone's own individual
No,
reality.
like if they said we're going to remove ourselves
That's
from the
I'd be like,
union,
great.
would you think it's like we're not going to take money from the federal government? We're not going to let them govern our people. We're not going to let feds come in and arrest people. We're going to remove ourselves from the union that is the United States. We're going to, in a sense, be our own country. Are you okay with that?
I would be okay with it.
Okay, cool. Me too. And I am too. Like, I think that's where we're going. But the South tried to do that, And then
I don't. Go ahead.
that's what happened. That's what they tried to secede. It was a
Right. No,
secession.
I know what it is,
So
but I just
when-
I just don't see it.
I know. So when the South went in, they tried to secede once, and what happened was Lincoln. That's what the war was. Like people make it seem like, oh, the war was over slavery. The North never freed their own slaves.
Right. No, they
Lincoln
had a
went
ton
in
of
there
slaveholders. It was over them trying to separate.
Lincoln went there to fuck people up for breaking up. He was the jealous ex-boyfriend. So what I think will happen, and I think at first it's going to seem like something that is going to lead us to civil war, but what I think the healthy way is I think 4 different countries.
I just don't. I mean, I remember back in
4?
what was it, 2009? Remember that popular YouTube video?
Louisiana Purchase Map, 3 countries.
Remember the Zeitgeist
3.
YouTube video, and they were talking
3.
about how it was going to be like a one world government, or
Yeah.
at least a one America's government.
I remember Zeitgeist.
Yeah, the Zeitgeist
It's like the first
woke millions
yeah.
of people in 2009. But
Like the red pilling.
exactly,
Yes.
yes.
The Zeitgeist helped the
Opened
Ron
up with
Paul
Carlin.
movement.
Opened up with that
Yeah.
Carlin religion bit. Anyway, so they were talking about shit like that separating America back then.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, last year or the year before that, most of California tried to separate from coastal elite California, which would have been San Francisco, LA, and like Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
And it
No.
barely got off the ground on like a, yeah,
I
it
never
was on the
knew
it was
about
there's a couple things
that.
on the
Yeah,
ballot.
so maybe
but it's
it-
just so not in our lifetimes.
no.
60 more years.
But here's the thing: is it doesn't take. So you're right. You're right. There's
I'm
a big
all
chunk.
for East, West,
there's
and
a,
Middle.
there's a big chunk of people that would keep California to the Union. You're right. But there's not a big chunk of people that would keep Texas to the Union.
I was
So
just
what
gonna
happened?
say.
No, well, so what happened? Because California is almost tax neutral. Like they almost like I think they go back and forth on whether they contribute to the union or take from the union, but they almost generate most of their own money.
Right.
So that's why your taxes are so fucking high, is because things like things we like here. So if a different part of the country were to say, "Hey, we're just out, man. We just don't like the way we are with like half the country."
I mean, Florida and Texas don't do state taxes.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, a lot of places don't, yeah, but like they also have a different quality of life there. I mean, they do things differently there. So I guess what I'm saying is, the left and the right they hate each other, right? So fucking break up. We're just go be you over here. We'll go be us over here. Because what would probably happen is Nevada, Arizona, New Mexico would probably go with Texas. Portland, Pacific
Nevada?
North.
I
yeah,
just don't
Nevada
see the
would.
reason to just
Pacific Northwest and California would probably go together. And
It'd just be more geography reasons to like separate and kind of like hate, man. I just don't see everybody doing that.
no, because
Challenging democracy,
Yeah.
yes, totally fine with being like maybe we need a new type of running shit in this country, but like to separate into just 4 more groups of things that can possibly combat with each other. I don't know if that's
I mean,
one. I think
it's-
a good idea, or 2, something a lot of people would want to go for.
what's funny is we say that from the scope of a group of people who've never lived through it, but it happens every year, all over the world, and it has forever. A line like the maps on the lines on the map have changed forever, and I think that if you want to walk into it with it'll be us over here and them over there, then that's how it'll be. But if you walk into it with a cool, fucking take all that shit we don't like over there, and we'll keep all the shit we like here, and like I don't want to stop you from having guns, you just can't bring them onto our side of the line. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a way for everyone to break up because no one wins at this point. The way our country is divided right now, no one can win. And it's almost set up that way. It's winning versus losing. So like you sit here and half the people in the country feel like they're going to lose something if we take guns away, and half the people in the country feel like they're losing something if we keep them. We apparently just no longer
think
agree.
The gun thing, man, I think is a deeper psychological like we stole this land when we got here, and the people that we stole it from are going to come back. Well, it's a good thing we wrote into our Bill of Rights that we get guns. I think that's what the gun thing is. The gun thing is a control aspect because these generations of white people want control over America, and with this new like revealing that America's kind of been shitty to everybody but white people thing, now it's in these people's head, oh my God, they're going to come back for us finally, and we need our guns. That's what I think that is. I don't even think people really like guns. I think they like control.
I will grant you that there are probably a small portion of very dumb gun owners that believe that way, but I'm pretty sure a majority of gun owners don't.
I don't think it as something they would even consciously know. It's like baked in. It's like in your brain over generations of being a white person and having a white family. It's baked into your brain, this whole I need my guns because I have to protect myself from the people we stole the land from. And I'm not saying it makes them like, oh, they're going to run out their door and be like, you get away, all brown people get away from my land. What I'm saying is that baked into their instinct is to decide, I want my guns because I need protection. And what it's rooted in is the generational thing.
It was not
It's true, and that's exactly
It
why
wasn't-
you still have the right to shoot somebody
Yeah.
if they have their foot, in a threatening way on your front yard. And
they
just
don't. Well, they don't.
pull the trigger.
They don't like the legalization of guns wasn't because we were afraid of who was going to come back that we stole the land from. It was we were afraid of the people that we ran away from coming to get us. That's what the revolution
No, we
that's-
definitely it
true.
started with
Both.
the intention of tyrannical government, all that. I know that, but I'm
Yeah.
saying
And
the
fellas,
whole Megan
make your last statements on the government, and then we have one more
sorry.
topic.
Sorry.
no, Alex and I are fight about this.
No, I
not
started it.
fighting
No, I
at
know. I'm
all.
just kidding.
Yeah,
It was
No.
being
I
exaggerated.
just asked you if you want to get juicy because I was thinking about it.
The
absolutely.
whole Meghan McCain NRA my guns out of my cold dead hands thing, I think is from a just conditioned fear of being overtaken by the people that you overtook.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of really dumb people have a really large voice in a really important conversation.
All right, we're done.
No, thank you, because
Yeah.
I honestly I don't watch.
I
the
love
news.
Josh, by the way. Like
No,
we're not.
yeah, we're
not
definitely.
fighting.
It's just we're both have
fun to do,
aggressive,
too.
sarcastic
I,
voices. So.
I didn't think you were.
Oh no,
funny
it's
for
for
a
it's for
second.
anybody listening.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
We
so
just
cute.
have both have like aggressive
Yeah.
voices. So
No, and I'm happy that I was able to actually have this part of the podcast because so it was funny because I was looking up. Sometimes I want to do celebrity gossip, which is like current events, and I literally Googled it today, and I was like, "This sucks, boring, boring." I'm like, "Well, why can't I bring
no good
up?"
goss right now. I gotta wait till like closer to award season.
Like, there's really nothing, right?
are going
And like I was
crazy
looking
for
at everything,
publicity.
I'm like, this all sucks. Like, there's nothing I even want to bring up right now. But that was fascinating to me because I do not watch the news. I honestly,
I really don't
I get
either. I'm
my
just on
news from
Twitter.
Instagram. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's it. And so when I heard about the universal basic income, I was like, that's kind of fascinating. But you're right. The fact that you were explaining to me, you know what, Krystle, you need help paying your rent, but again, people in Kansas don't. So let's be honest about what they'd spend the money on.
Well, yeah, no, and the thing is I think that's fine too. Like, however you choose to live your life. I mean, there are going to be a
Right.
lot of people that like, and that's another thing. If everyone gets $1,000 a month, do I get to look at the police and say, all right, now go get rid of all these fuckers in their RVs because they can afford to park them somewhere?
No, or like
what do
there's
you get to
or
do?
some people who just like need to feed their families,
Yeah, I
so
get
that's why
that,
they're
but-
living in RVs.
But if everyone gets $1,000, can like if we're lifting people out of poverty, then, or if we're offering them the chance to step out of poverty,
right.
then we need to have the expectation that they do. And if they don't, then they have to go elsewhere. You don't get to live on the streets of LA. And I
Amen.
say that as someone who lives in his car.
Amen.
I'm not
Yeah.
in people's way. I'm not gross. I don't leave my trash on the, like.
Amen. No, that's deep. That is deep.
I just want
like
to see this
that.
community get better because there's like some
Right.
really.
Here's $1,000.
scary
Go
shit.
live in Louisiana.
No, just drive it elsewhere. They're
Yeah.
gonna stay here because weather, but either way, we'll get off of it. Sorry.
No, don't say sorry.
Sorry.
We've been good at doing the 3 parts. So we did the juicy stuff. We did. I guess is that what was our political segment? Well, this is still going to be political.
We were talking about weed. What were we
Yeah,
talking
No.
about?
it started
no.
with.
No, that's what the last part is.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
Oh, the weed
that
one?
Josh and I watched the Explained. Oh, I watched a bunch
Oh,
of them.
you brought up UBI. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I wanted.
Oh, right, because you really did nail the segments. It was the first one was with my Riot Day and your dude, and then we
Yeah.
got into that, and then good job.
Thank you.
So
Yeah,
I'm big on high fives, and we just can't reach each
Hey,
other.
I'm like, it's episode 19, guys. This is I'm kind of getting good at this.
Yeah.
Kinda. Let's.
I'm like, I'm working on it, but like it's just gonna get better. So the last little bit, and it's actually not gonna take long to talk about it. And the reason why I found it interesting is because first of all, did you watch the episode of Explained? Do you know what Explained is even? Because I didn't even
No.
know what Explained is.
Netflix
It's
Explained is this
fascinating.
super. It's called. I thought it was called Explained Weekly. Maybe not. It's just called Netflix Explained, and they do like a bunch of little 22-minute mini docs on subjects like weed, music.
Is it kind of like
the
how
wa-
Vice used
wage
to
gap.
be?
Pretty much.
Female
Yeah, but the female
orgasm.
orgasm, a bunch of
Living
monogamy.
forever.
They're real astrology. They're all really good and really informative. And then the one on weed is really good because it just goes
Mm-hmm.
into all these details. So obviously we all know there's indica and sativa, but there's actually a third one that only grows in Russia called like ruderalis or something like that. And then there's another one, like a mini strain that.
That's why we gotta band together, guys.
They're coming for us.
Don't be anti-Russia. I'm trying to get this weed.
But anyway, so what did you want to bring up about it?
Well, I mean, that was one
Sounds
point,
cool.
and
Yeah,
I'm glad that you
ruderalis.
could bring that up. I'm a bud tender. Did you know that?
Where do you work at?
I work at Cookies on Melrose.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
My friend, the DJ for my show, the Hell Show, lives right around the corner from there, so I'm in that
Okay.
area all the time. And the Green Easy is close. It's like right down the street from
Yeah,
there.
I've been meaning to go there.
Oh, yeah.
So just
Damn
check
it!
it out.
I didn't know I was shouting out a competitor. It's like
No,
right in
it's
the same area.
okay. No, I shout out my old job all the time when I was
Oh
in
well,
Orange
yeah.
County.
All the dispensaries. I
Budman
mentioned.
Delivery, Budman OC, I love them all. Because I spend my money at other dispensaries too, because it's like we don't have all the brands, so why
Right.
can't I shop at Sweet Flower?
Hey, yo, shout out to my coworker, always hooking it up. Let me avoid the man. Let me avoid taxes. What's up?
I love the Flocana and Loud Pack Sativa pre-rolls. If we're talking
Ooh.
brands.
Oh, Loud Pack. Okay,
Yeah.
I need to try that because we sell those.
The sativa ones are great. I've smoked almost every type of pre-roll
Okay.
that you can that dispensaries carry, and Flocana and Loud Pack sativas were the ones that, like, if I smoked with somebody that didn't like
Smoke,
maybe
they could hang.
No, they would hit it and they'd be like, I remember. So here's a specific story. Jenny, one of the bartenders at the Comedy Store, we're in the back, we're smoking. Everybody's passing around joints, and they're passing around, no shade, LA Speedweed joint. So we're smoking that. We finish that, put it out, and then I bust out one of my Flocana sativas and hit it, pass it to her. She goes, "Oh, this is good weed." Like, people comment on the taste of the joints that I bring to places.
That's how I feel about London Pound Cake number 75.
There you
Shout out
go.
to Cookies. All about the taste. Smoke natural. What? No. So that's exactly the point I wanted to bring up, is that he said earlier in the podcast that he likes to smoke because it actually slows him down. However, he said he smokes sativa, which is actually known as the daytime high, which helps people keep it up to
It
speed.
still slows me down.
But in the documentary, it said that stop doing that, because unfortunately when some people smoke super silver haze, it might react like that, which is a sativa, it might react like an indica, or somebody who smokes like a purple strain might actually, like for me, when I smoke a bunch of purple strains, I don't get lethargic and sleepy and start crashing. And that's the point that they were trying to make, is like, they said literally verbatim something about when you go into one of these hipster shops and they're trying to explain to you all the cool stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's me.
That's you.
I'm the hipster.
Indica's definitely put me down. I noticed a few years ago the difference between the strains and how much they really did affect me. So I try to steer clear of indicas at all times, but at the same time, I do love smoking. So it's like, if that's what you have,
Right.
that's just fucking smoke.
Yeah, I feel you. And I enjoy sativas as well. And okay, so now to make it clear though, you obviously, like, if you find a strain, like for example, mine were the good joints from Sweet Flower that I really love the sativa, and it acted just like a sativa, and it was the same high every time I smoked it, which is very rare for me. And I kept going back because I know once they get a new batch, it might be different.
Right.
So, like, you could get a bad batch of the Loud Pack, and it's just,
Yeah, I got, I remember I got a pack. Are we doing a picture? Oh.
It's probably a boomerang.
Oh. I got the Lowell Farms. Everybody's all about now because they had that one viral
didn't like it?
video. They just burn weird. I noticed the way certain joints burn because they'll either they'll commonly run, and I'm
Right.
like, I told you before, I got a little OCD on making sure joints don't run. And then other ones like the Lowell's, and then what was this other brand? I think Palms maybe. They burn weird in a way that gets super resonant at the end, and then
Ooh.
people who don't smoke all the time are like, oh, I'm not getting anything. But then if you smoke a lot, you're like, just, you're like, no, I will fucking get a hit out of this.
That's funny.
So yeah, so that's why I do, like, I get pretty like analytical when it comes to the joints that I smoke, just because I smoke constantly.
Yeah, right. And I'm glad because that's how you and I actually, that's how we got here, man.
Yeah,
We got here. Well, because
it did start because of my mini Instagram contest, but
Well, and we met at Burt's.
yeah, but we
So-
became bros after the Instagram
right.
contest.
After I said I spinned.
Yeah, that was so.
If I spin
was
hard enough and stop my eat
dying
my
by,
bone.
by myself reading that response because I was like, it was one, a good joke, and then two, your brain was like, spin is correct.
No, bro, the spell check wouldn't let me type in spin, and I like.
Oh
I
my God, that's
forced-
extra funny.
I forced spin. I'm like,
Autocorrect was
"Nah,
like,
bro,
no, I got this for you, and then you're just like, no.
It's gonna be spinned. So yeah, I'm glad you like that one. Because I always tell that to people about. Actually, I've used that line quite a bit about my balls falling out of my skirt.
Good.
Yeah, so cool. Sativa smoker, pre-roll. And I love that you're a pre-roll smoker
Love
too.
it,
Because
yeah.
and that's another thing is back in the day when there were just trap shops. A trap shop is basically somebody who is hanging on, trying to stay
Dude,
open.
that's what I love, man. Pull it out the jar, weigh it in front of me. I like that. Because seriously, like, if weed is dry, it's cheaper. It's literally it's lighter. So it's like when they give you something that's 3.5 and then you fucking get it out of the bag and it's not. I hate that. It drives me nuts. Sorry, go.
No, yeah, exactly. So these trap shops, they used to make these dirty pre-rolls that, like, if you smoked, you might get some lung cancer because they probably swept up the
nicotine
shake
in
off
them
the
and
They
shit.
ground.
had those like weird filters.
Stems,
They had,
yeah.
like cigarette filter.
Those are the shit you give away.
Sometimes
like,
I get these pre-rolls that have like hash kind of like sprinkled on it or something.
Oh,
like
I was
that.
gonna.
Like,
that
or-
was the one I was gonna
or,
get
the little
delivered.
bullets,
The
the
rosin.
What is that
or
shit
resin-
called? When you got the grinder, the
Keef.
Keef, yeah,
Yeah.
Keef,
Those
like
Little,
Keef.
you talk about those bullet joints,
Some,
those little guys?
I'm sure that's one,
Yeah.
but yeah, like
That's
I
hash.
I have had hash like infused or like
Oh,
yeah, the
shit,
Keef
yeah.
like
The Keef
sprinkled on it.
guys,
It's
yeah.
dope. Yeah, those burn super dope.
Fun,
I was
fun.
gonna show you the. Yeah, this is the one.
How do you feel about blunts, Krystle?
I like blunts. I think that's the brand. Yeah.
Those are
Uh,
dope.
you've
Oh
heard of
yeah,
these?
these ones not that brand, but that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it looked like.
Yeah,
and it was
that's what I
great.
wanted
What
to
are
get
they?
delivered.
Tell the listeners.
It's called Golani.
Well,
if
that's
you
just
wanna-
one brand, but yeah, it was like you can see it's very
Galaxy,
clearly like
shout out.
dusted with
Yeah, they-
Keef. Yeah.
they do it
Again,
too.
Green Easy, they give me free shit all the time, so they
Nice.
I've gotten a few of those before.
And yeah, so I like them. So blunts. Honestly, I just like a good tasting weed and smoking out of something natural.
Right.
I'm a paper or palm leaf or that banana wood I posted.
Banana wood.
Because I just don't want to. I really don't want to smoke a blunt. Because I smoke in my apartment a lot, and I don't want that.
That's that burned
yeah.
nicotine shit.
I don't mind
tobacco
walking in
any.
and it smells like weed. You know.
I grew up in a small town 50 miles northeast of San Francisco, so we listened to a lot of Bay Area rap, Mac Dre,
Yeah.
E40, Keek to Sneak, Mr. Fab, and all of them
What are you, by the way?
pretty cool dude. No, my mom is Mexican, my dad is Native American and random Europeans.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So back in NorCal, you just smoke blunts. You just all peach Optimos,
Oh, I grew up
Swisher
in
Sweets.
Texas, bro.
Yeah. So it's just like
Yeah.
we smoked those all day, every day. And then when I got to LA, it was just a long era of just like pipes and bongs and this and that. And then eventually, I used to actually carry around a joint roller, and I would get flour, and then I'd grind it up
Really?
and just roll like 10 of them and
Wow.
just smoke. And then eventually it goes into pre-rolls.
Okay. Interesting.
There was a time, I have an interesting weed
I've never
story.
even used or had in possession a joint roller.
Really? Oh yeah, no,
Never.
I remember. And then my buddy taught me how to take the little pieces of the zigzag box and make it into a crutch, which I never got good at, but I know people do that. But so when I've lived in LA, I guess 11 years now. And,
Congratulations.
Yeah, and 1 year was spent back in NorCal in 2012, but then
Can I ask you your age on the
32.
pod?
I don't care. Yeah,
Oh.
I don't care.
I'm the same age.
Yeah, nice. Look at that, the fives. So I divide my LA life into two like little time spans. One was the pre-home return, and now I'm in the after. But in the pre one, there was this time I was living with all these buddies at Park La Brea, and
Okay.
and my
Fun.
friend Brian is like, my friend Brian, who I'm still friends with, is like, hey, my friend is gonna drop some stuff off later. Are you gonna be home? I was like, yeah, I'll be home. So I'm just chilling in my house, playing video games, and doorbell. Open the door. It's just his friend. I'm like, what's up? She's like, I'm here at the stuff. Brian said I was going to drop it off. And I was like, great. And I was like, what is this? And I grabbed the duffel bag and she goes, it's like 2 pounds of weed. And I was just like,
Oh no.
what? What? She's like, yeah, my dad was like this huge LA drug kingpin and he just got arrested and went to jail. And we were able to recover almost all of the drugs. We just don't know what to do with the weed. So Brian said you guys would hold on to it. And I was like,
You definitely
yes,
smoked.
I will. Yes, we will hold on to this. And she was just like, you guys can smoke it. And then just whatever you sell, I guess just give me a %. And I think we sold 1/8 and then just smoked the rest of it. But this girl was just like
Oh
a
yeah.
chill, like cute girl. She was like, whatever, you know, and then.
Shout out to my 11th grade boyfriend who tried to front me a QP to teach me how to sell weed.
Yeah, right. You
and
just smoked it all.
Dude, no, I just couldn't sell it because he insisted by giving me dime bags. And I was like, bro,
Buying a 10
yeah,
sack.
everyone only has lunch money. So all of my potential clients were like, man, Krystle, if you said 5 bags, I'd buy off of you every day. So here I am, like with like dimes like stuffed into my bra.
Yeah,
and I
that's
couldn't
where I put
sell
my
any
dimes.
of it. And then it dried up. And yeah, by then I was just practically giving it away because it was so dry.
Yeah, it was like multiple blunts a day, every day for like 2 years. We were just smoking constantly out of that weed duffel bag.
Wow, that's a cool story.
Yeah, it was very.
Wow. What was it? What kind of weed was it? Was it good?
It was good weed. I don't know. I didn't really pay a ton of attention to strains.
Do you
back
remember
then.
it being sticky?
It was sticky for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
'cause
I mean, at the end of the 2 years, it maybe wasn't as quality as the first, but we smoked the fuck out of that duffel bag.
Well, that was another thing that I found fascinating about like looking at the weed plant and the actual flower and how we used to like smoke all the
Everything.
the rest.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Pick out the seeds
Oh.
and stems.
yeah, and like that's I'll never forget having to do. And then we never had grinders growing up. We had to do it.
I know, all by fingertips.
hand.
Yeah. I used to
And
be.
I'm
That
like,
was the reason I didn't roll. I never learned to roll because my
these-
buddy was the blunt roller and I was the good blend grinder with the.
That's literally what made Hood Rats feel like we were cool. Like, hey, yeah, I'll break down the weed. Like, I know how to roll
With your
it,
nails
you
and
know?
shit.
Right. And now I'm like, ew, give me the grinder. Let me pack it in my cone with my little tool.
You're proud hood rat. I love that.
I'm
Right? You know, you felt that too, right?
No,
Yeah.
I got it.
Now you just gotta love what you are.
Well, I grew up in a questionable neighborhood. Like, in the suburbs that shouldn't have been a bad neighborhood, but like we just did hood rat things, so we were hood rats.
Okay.
Yeah, and I will plug my cousin's podcast. They said,
what a fun 2019 sentence, right? How many snapshots? Give me a snapshot of an era.
Guys, give my cousin a follow. He needs it. He's been sad lately.
His cloud is whack as fuck. So
You
if we
want
could
to
do
stop
something
a
about
school shooting? Here's my cousin's Instagram. He's up. That's why I need.
their MySpace. Well, I have to do it because I remember.
God,
following that ratio, is that your cousin? Okay, do not let the listeners or viewers or whatever see. I don't want to give like
Okay.
intentional shade, but it's like that
Yes.
follower to following ratio is absolute garbage. Like, how are you
Yeah.
on the internet
No, we should
with
tell
that
them.
type of social media thirst? Okay, well, I don't want them to like.
Okay, well, I won't plug them this episode. I'll plug it when she's on my podcast. So let's give them some feedback. So I remember like she hadn't really. I found out through
32
Facebook.
posts, 307 followers. Alex, just go ahead and give me a guess as to
Follows?
how many people. This person has 32 posts. Their followers are at 307. Why don't you go ahead and guess how many they are following?
3,000.
Can you get? You're in the neighborhood. Can you get more specific?
Oh wait, how many are they following?
Yeah,
307.
I'm sorry, how many are following them?
307. They have 307 followers.
I'm gonna say 3,070.
Oh.
3,880.
Oh, damn.
So just shy of 4.
I almost said 3,700. I was trying to figure out the math. I was gonna go with a tenth.
Yeah.
Damn.
So basically, what Josh is slightly trying to say is that unfollow. 3,500
Unfollow, unlike,
people.
unsubscribe.
So
I mean,
I had this girl. People are in the LA comedy scene will be familiar with her. Her name is Tammy Jordan. She bring a show producer to the Comedy Store, but she's also very like influential in my life. She like made me host at first. She also was my doorway into the Comedy Store. She just kind of noticed I was a cool dude and put me on the team, and I didn't have to like bring. I just got to help. But
Nice.
I remember one time. I was bitching about girls, and this was like years and years ago. So I was not in my Zen LSD, like nothing is real mindsets yet. So I was bitching about girls, and then she was like, she said something that still stings me to think that I put out this vibe for so long. But she goes, "Honey, you're great. I just think you're making yourself too available." And I just remember hearing that and being like, "Oh, she's probably right," and then changing that, and then again things got better. So that's. The social media version of making yourself too available is following 3,883 people. Like, why am I clicking
what
follow?
do you like that much?
Yeah.
You spent more time.
I have an account that's a fake account that I follow all the accounts that my heart could truly like purely desire to really.
That's a good idea.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
people. Finsta having a Finsta,
Finsta.
is a thing. Is like a total thing. No, so that I don't look at that judgmentally, but like.
You have to see the hair.
Oh, I was like, is this how this is the sign off for the show? Like this is she just.
I thought you should start making it.
It's like, is that the sign off for the show?
I almost didn't show
What's
your
a, so what's a
hair.
Finsta?
Okay,
A
yeah.
fake Instagram that you use to follow people that you couldn't let know you follow them with your real Insta. So like if you want to track your ex, if you want to track some
Shit
crushes.
is lame.
It is lame, but it's the present we live in, so you might as well take advantage of it.
No, that's the so that
Nope.
So when people
Nope. I'm Alex Conn and I say nope.
No, so when people say like, "Oh, there's all these angry, outraged people online." No, that's all the regular people. They just don't talk shit from their regular accounts. We're hiding the problem. That's what I think. I want to know who you follow. I like to go and be like, "What's this person
So
into?"
that's your version of crazy, but their version of the crazy is to sneak around it. Your version of crazy is just like, no, I'm a man, I'm a fucking white dude. Let's just lay it all down to see.
See what I look at.
But yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, when you have generations
Am
of
I
having to hide baked into you, you're going to make a Finsta.
fascinated by a Facebook Instagram page called Babes for Trump? You better believe
I will
it.
scroll for sure, but you better be damned if I'm letting that pop up in my liked posts. I will keep my thumb so far away. No, you fucking better not.
I'm a longtime subscriber of Breadface. You guys know what Breadface is?
Oh God, is it a white power
Not
thing?
even, no, it's not even sexual. It's just this Asian girl who gets fancy bread and she smushes her face into it.
That
That's all it
sounds
is.
erotic as fuck.
It's probably
actually.
sexual for a lot of people. But for me, it's just, I'm like, she's still going. Huh? I'm more just in it for the bit.
The
now.
boner is separate. The boner is completely separate. You're just like, I appreciate this as art.
It's like the lady who fucks food, no fruit.
All the
Seriously.
ladies?
No,
I
there-
thought all the ladies.
I talked about it on the podcast once. Miley Cyrus jocked her whole
Oh.
Stephanie Searly. But anyways.
Oh, is that where that came from? Miley Cyrus stealing shit?
What? No way.
Uh-huh. Oh, and by the way, last callback. This is almost 2 weeks now.
That's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
I noticed them at the beginning of the pod and being like, damn, those are still shiny, still looking good.
Thank you.
Your nails?
Yeah.
2 weeks?
Almost.
That's a long time. to have nails.
fantastic.
Josh was unfortunately a part of our show. I talked about this on the last podcast.
Oh, the
when
show.
it got canceled,
That
and then
happens.
that's when he saw my nails, and that's when he asked me.
I get mani pedis all the time. I get clear coat, so I definitely
Cool.
appreciate and respect, nail game.
Oh, and the last thing I want to ask you right before we sign off here. So, as LSD, what brought you happiness, like psychedelics? Is that what happened?
Choosing happiness is what brought it to me at first.
Okay.
There was
But have you done LSD?
Oh, many times.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the best.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Good. Pro LSD. I am too. Alex? Absolutely.
As long as it's white acid.
Stop. Do you have anything that you want to plug for?
Just my show every other Friday at the Comedy Store. My Instagram is Josh Waldron Sucks.
Yes, Josh
and
Waldron.
I guess
sucks.
that's it.
He's a funny
Just
guy. Follow.
be nice to the world, and the world will be nice back to you.
Nice. Do you have anything you want to plug, Alex?
Really nothing. You can follow me at con.tv and nothing. Oh, check out, if you like podcasts, you should honestly start to go listen to Cover to Cover. That's the podcast I'm on with Chris Frangiola. We're at about
Oh, Chris is very funny. I did a show with him in San Diego once.
yeah, we're about 45 weeks in now. We're just cranking through it and
We got about 16 listeners.
We're
but
hitting our stride. We're starting to put out some good episodes. So if you
I know
start
he's
to-
a popular dude. I imagine people would want to listen to that.
yeah, if you start to go back the last
Cool Instagram.
last 10 episodes we've been rolling, the show's getting really fun. So if you're looking for a podcast to listen to, try Cover to Cover.
Nice. That was a good plug.
We like it. We love
Thank
it.
you.
And
We
I'm
want
actually
some more of it. Huh?
today. I tried.
There you go. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
hard, I can't rise above it.
That's Alex's real
If
voice.
you-
He's finally not doing a character anymore.
That was good.
That's me not being the bro.
What, bro? I love how this is the longest.
Came so natch though.
Yo, I am going to be on my coworker's podcast, SeaWorld, SEEWORL 3Ds, DDD. Down to earth.
What even is this
show
accessory?
radio. Don't
I
you
need a
love it?
personal phone stand for in front of my face.
All added in my bio, so you guys can check that out too. Thank you guys.
What kind of
for
podcast is
listening.
it?
Honestly, he's gonna talk about honestly weed. Hip hop. Working in the industry. We're actually gonna have one of the managers at Cookies on there tonight, and another
Cool.
one of our coworkers.
Is that your new show, or are you just hanging out?
He mentioned bringing me on as a regular
Reoccurring?
co-host.
Cool.
So we'll see how it goes.
Okay. Where do you guys record it?
In the Valley in Woodland Hills.
Nice.
That's far, but
It's far, right?
Good place to get high though. All right,
been high in
cool.
Woodland Hills many
Yeah, and
times.
we actually get to smoke on the podcast, which
Very
will
cool.
be a fun experience. So don't
the-
drink out of plastic
the
bottles
joke
and don't use.
I wanted to make, but then I bailed from because it'd just be too silly. Was you're saying, oh, you get to smoke on the podcast, and you're like, oh, I got to do that when I was on Rogan. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
You know?
you do it.
See,
I want to be.
You were on Rogan?
no, see exactly.
I was like, oh.
Yo, thank you for listening, guys.
Rogan and this. That's it. My only 2 podcasts.
See you.